Hi, I'm going to do a quick video on how to remove the air can from a 2018 Fox Float X2. It's different than in prior years, and I've done it once before, and hopefully what I learned the first time will help you guys out, because I haven't found any information online on how to do this, and even the Fox website doesn't have any information. So let's get started. The first thing we'll do is remove the air slowly using a proper shock pump. I'm using a Topeak Pocket Shock, I don't know, what does it say, a DXG. Pretty cool little shock pump. You screw it on, and then it doesn't actually release the air until you screw the second barrel down. And then it pushes the pin in. And the nice thing about that is when you're pumping up a shock, when you remove it, you don't lose any air as you remove the valve. See, yeah, it looks like I got about 200 in here, but I usually pump it up to about 215, 220, but we lost a little when I put the hose on right now. All right, so let's let the air out slowly. It's important to let it out slowly so the main chamber and the negative air chamber balance out as you go, or you could end up with some little issues that you can work through if you don't. Yeah, remove the air slowly. Now you got to find a set screw right here where my finger's at, and you're going to remove that set screw. And just to give you an idea, it's located in the same vicinity where it says warning 250 psi max. You can see it right there. And you use a very small Allen wrench. I use a 1.5. It works, but it may be like something a little different, but the 1.5 works for me. All right, there's a little set screw removed. See, it's quite small. It's just about the only piece you can lose doing this, so be careful that, you know, if you drop it, it's not going to get lost or whatever. All right, I've moved the bike outside so we have more light. You can see the little groove in there that on the left, which is where the set screw was, and then you see a bigger groove just to the right. And what you want to do is turn the air shock so the hole where the set screw was lines up with the center of that other groove. So it's only a small turn. And you can see it actually kind of stops right there. Well, and it kind of stops because it can't go any further because the valve, the Schrader valve, hits the piggyback. So that's sort of the limit of the turning. You're like, huh, what the heck? It doesn't want to unscrew. Well, that's it. It just kind of aligns some grooves, and then you can pull the thing straight back, straight towards you, or away from the controls and away from the piggyback. You pull it down. And when you do this, some oil of the that blue Fox Float oil may come out a little bit, so just be aware of that. Another reason to do this in a place where you don't mind getting a little oil splashed around. Let's see if I can do this using my left hand. Well, maybe I'll try to use my right hand here. Okay, it took me a little bit of effort to break the seal. There it goes, and it just pops off. And you can see I've got one spacer on there. It came with two. I took one off, rode it for a while, and I've been doing some 4-foot, 6-foot drops, and I'm bottoming out. So I'm going to add the spacer back in that it came with. You can put a total of 3 in this model. This is the 200 millimeter stroke model. So it's the smallest of this bunch. So you can put a maximum of 3 spacers in here. Came with 2, came with 1 loose. I'm going to go back to the original setup with 2. And then when I'm done with this, I'm going to actually add a spacer to my Fox or my RockShox Pike fork to kind of give them a similar kind of progression feel. All right, be right back with you to put this thing back together. The volume spacers are 2 pieces. You can see how they snap together. It's pretty easy. That way you can put them on without having to remove the shock from the bike. I'm going to give them a little coating with Fox Float oil, and then I'm also going to shoot a little bit of Fox Float oil into the air can before I button it all back up. All right, I got my spacer on. Got my Fox Float oil, little syringe, actually too big of a syringe. And I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. Next it's gonna take some force, so I'm gonna have to put the camera to do this, put this down, but you're basically gonna line up that hole with the bigger opening. And you're gonna force it onto the seals just by pushing it vertically, linearly. And then when it's locked up, you're gonna turn it counterclockwise until the hole is lined up with that little set screw slot. Alright, I made another move to my bike stand, which is where I should have been the whole time doing this. Just to show you this, opens up my hands a little bit. The Schrader valve needs to be like right next to the piggyback to put this on, and your shock needs to be extended all the way to have the room you need to do this. And if you're in the right spot, you just pull it. All right, I lost my camera. Tough to do cameraman and bike mechanic at the same time. So you do. I got it. You just got to pull it up with a little bit of force, and it'll click right into place. Then you twist it back just a little bit. That's all the action right there. That's between closed and open. Put just a little touch of blue Loctite on the set screw before putting it back in there. All right, I've got the set screw back in place. Next thing you do is to pump the shock up. Just remember to go up in 50 psi increments, cycle the shock a few times, then up another 50, and keep doing that until you get to your proper pressure. But it's important that you do it in small increments and cycles, so you keep the negative air chamber and the positive air chamber pressurized equally.